Okay, I guess we're doing another one. It is so hot today in Berlin. This room gets really hot, so I need to get this filmed and then close the blinds so I can work in the shadow. We're painting goblins today. We are going to be painting these goblins. There you go. They are from Goblins on Instagram. Fitting with yesterday's video, they are hand sculpted and they're metal cast, and I think they are super cute. I actually own quite a lot of goblin minis, and they're all pretty special to me. These are like all kit bashes made out of the Noblars kit from Warhammer. This guy is a Westphalia miniature, and these are still the Noblar kit bashes. And that guy I got at Camping Kit Bash last year. These are some brine goblins, some like sea-themed, nautical-themed goblins by Reaper Miniatures. I love this mermaid. This guy with a little shell on his head. Goblins are great because they're just so much fun. Like, you're just allowed to have so much fun with goblins. They're little, nasty, mischievous creatures, but they're also kind of innocent. Like, any bad they do, any evil they commit, they just kind of, it's just in their nature, so you forgive them. This guy I actually sculpted myself a while back, and this guy reminds me of Labyrinth. He's got a little bat on his dueling lance. These are 3D prints, by the way. I don't know who made them, but I got them gifted a while back. Rats can be goblins too, I think. These are the classic Games Workshop Forest goblins. They come with the big, like, spider kit, and they're a ton of fun. So yeah, I've got a whole bunch of goblins already in my collection, and we're adding 4 more, so I want to make them a little bit unique. I want them to have their own identity. So we're gonna paint the skin in like a little bit of a different flesh tone, a little bit more pale. So let me clean up my desk real quick and then we'll get to painting. I'm thinking let's paint these a little bit different because I already have a lot of green goblins. Let's do like a sickly pinkish skin tone, and like some verdigris on the metal and some dark blue clothes, kind of like maybe some teals and stuff. And let's just have fun with some tiny little mini goblins that won't focus. There you go. All right, let's go. So yeah, this is where I paint. This is my messed up lamp. It's broken, but it still works. And here I was looking up some references, so I was thinking about maybe painting the goblins with like actual pink skin, and I really like this teal as well and how it plays with the red. We're gonna put some gray on these bases. I like to paint all of my bases the same nowadays, makes it easier to kind of mix and match your minis. Yeah, and then we're just gonna base coat all of the skin with this Deaf World Forest by Citadel. I like it. It's a muted green, but it's not gonna stay green for long. We're gonna get the grime bucket. My Nuln oil ran out a while back, so I've just been mixing my own. You can use some medium and add like various black and brown contrast paints or just like normal acrylic paints. And then just as long as the dilution kind of fits, you'll get your own little black or brown wash. And nobody's going to be able to tell the difference. It'll look good, I promise. You don't need to buy new products. Look how much this looks like Nuln oil. You don't have to go out and buy Nuln oil again if it runs out. You can just make your own. I promise, it's okay. It'll be fine. I decided to black out all of the details that are going to be like metal and cloth on these goblins, because it helps with metallics to undercoat in black. I'm gonna dry brush the base with Karak stone, and that is followed by a second dry brushing of Screaming Skull, and that's the base is done. I mean, I'm gonna put some tufts on there, but that's all the painting. Gonna do a red wash. I think this is Carabuk Crimson over all of the green, This is gonna add some really nice value contrast, but also a hue contrast, because we've got the green and the red complementary colors on there now. You can see the difference here. I think it's definitely worth doing. And now I'm gonna cover it all up with some careful glazing. This is Recarve Flesh, and I'm gonna follow that up with Pallid Witch Flesh for like a final highlight, to really get the skin to this pale color. Look, you can see how different this looks now, but we've got those nice green and red undertones, and I think they really add like some painterly quality and some life to the skin. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I was just kind of experimenting and having fun with this one, because I wasn't sure how to achieve the look that I wanted. So I just kind of went back and forth with the glazing and trying out different kind of approaches. But I think that's kind of always fun, you know, that makes it worthwhile, always just kind of having a new experience and testing out different ideas. And I think it turned out great. He's looking super happy. And then I just went in with like a little glaze of that Carroburg Crimson wash to get some redness back into the skin. And now it's just all about painting those little details and the armor that's left. So I'm just painting some Shrubty Bone and Screaming Skull on these teeth and on his eyes. And then I'm basing all of the metal except for his chainmail with Decayed Metal by scale 75, which is my favorite kind of bronzish brass color. This chainmail is just Lead Belcher by Citadel, you know. I really, really like how this is turning out. I think these are such nice colors. And I like how saturated those metals are looking. Let's saturate them a little bit more by doing some verdigris, like I teased at the beginning. I really wanted some verdigris on here. This is just like Sotek green mixed with some medium and like a little bit of brown. And it dries matte and it looks great. I love it. I put some brown wash. I think it's strong tone on the chainmail as well. And now I'm just, you know, highlighting the final details, going around looking for little bits that still need to be painted, but it's really only like the last little bits of highlight I painted his little belt, and you know, just kind of going around taking the eyes and putting little pupils in them. Look how stupid he looks. Get a little bit of a highlight in there as well. I tried, and my brush is kind of like starting to form a little bit of a curved tip, which is always annoying. Synthetics do that. And then highlighting the brass, you know, and that's like almost done. It's really, it doesn't take a long time. Once you know what you're doing and you've got your colors down, you know, it's a small mini, so it's not going to take 100 years. And I'm really liking how these highlights have transformed the metal. And just in general, this guy was a joy to paint, and I think he's looking great. I'm almost finished. Here's the kind of 90% complete shot. Most of the colors are nailed down at this point, and I know what I'm doing for the other ones. I started painting them as well. There was one more thing I wanted to do, his little bag on his back. I thought maybe add some red in there, get a little bit of a color pop as well. That might contrast nicely with the teal that we've got in the verdigris. But other than that, I just need to varnish him, paint the base rim black, and put some tufts on that base. And then he's done. Okay, I didn't get all the way through all 4 goblins. I think that's just the reality of this hobby. Sometimes you want to do something and you set a goal and you realize you're running out of time. In this case, I just want to get this video out today. Listen, I'm not promising that this is going to be a daily thing. I don't think it's going to be a daily thing. It was hard work. I don't know how Trent and other people are doing this every single day, because it's a lot of work to film and edit these videos. So only one goblin actually got finished. Here he is. And I am so happy with this little dude. God, I love these sculpts. They're amazing, they're characterful, they're funny, they're kind of old school Warhammer, and I like the way the skin tone turned out, the more kind of pale flesh. Really happy with this guy. I really hope that you liked this little excursion into Goblin Town. And I'm interested to know if you enjoyed a little painting video as well. If you like this, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel. Yesterday I uploaded the first video and I had 0 subscribers, and now I have almost 400. That is insane from one video. Thank you so much for your amazing feedback on the first video, and for being so supportive, and for being so welcoming and having me in this hobby space, and allowing me to talk your ear off while you do your things. What should we do next time? I'm thinking maybe we're gonna sculpt something. That could be fun. Maybe, if you're into that. Let me know. Plop a comment down below. Alright, that's it for today, because I have like, I don't know, like half an hour to get this finished before I need to leave. Maybe if it's later tonight, that means I had to edit this when I got back from dinner. So, we'll see how it goes. Alright, thank you so much. I'm having a blast. This is really fun. Love goblins, love minis. Go make some awesome stuff. See ya.